guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I will be talking about palettes that I will be decluttering from my collection and why. I have gone over my collection since we've been on this quarantine thing for a while, and I've just seen some palettes and I'm just like, why do I still have you if I don't use you? And you know what I mean? It's just like we're in that mentality that we have a lot of makeup. Why we have a lot of makeup, I don't know. I just love makeup. But I've realized in the past weeks that I just don't reach for those palettes. I don't want to reach for them, so why have them? So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about these palettes. I don't mean to upset anybody, and I don't mean to brag. If it does bother you that, you know, a lot of my palettes don't look as used as they should, I'm sorry. I do have a lot of makeup in my collection, and I do love makeup. It's just something that, like I said, I just don't use, and I'm gonna get rid of. So yeah, if you want, stay tuned and keep on watching. I will be talking about those. So we're gonna go ahead and start with a couple of Urban Decay palettes. I have two Urban Decay palettes. This might be a repeat, oops, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm sorry if it is a repeat. This is the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. It has really beautiful packaging. I still have some of the cartons for these because, like I said, I just am weird like that. I don't know. So this is the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. So this is what the palette looks like here, and it has really pretty shades. But the only problem with this is these are just super flaky, and I don't want to reach for this palette. It is similar to my Sultry palette. I feel too similar. That is why I don't use this one. I prefer my Sultry from Anastasia Beverly Hills, so it is one that I will be getting rid of. Like I said, if I just don't want to reach for it, why would I have it? So I'm going to get rid of it. As well as my Kristen Leanne and Urban Decay palette. This is another palette. Still has the cover. I can even take it off. Still has the plastic on the, you know, brush. I don't know. I was keeping it for these shades here, but I'm like, why? Why am I keeping it for two shades? So it's just the whole concept of this, like the whole weirdness of the shades, the way that they're, you know, arranged. I just don't see myself. And when I look at this palette, I just kind of overthink it, I guess. I overthink of what kind of looks I'm gonna do with this. And the only matte shades in here are this orange and this black. So it's like, what am I gonna do with that orange and black as matte shades? It's kind of weird. I know that there was another palette she came out with, which was like a more neutral palette when she did this collection with Urban Decay, but I just don't. This is a Kaleidoscope Dream palette. I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of it. So those two are gonna be going. Like I said, I just don't reach for them. Why have them? They're just taking up space. The next products I will talk about are Jeffree Star. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but these are my two Jeffree Star palettes that I will be getting rid of. This is the Androgyny by Jeffree Star. Here is what the palette looks like. It has like a really nice faux leather exterior, and then it has a really kind of like a older looking mirror, and the shades here are as these right here. You can see I barely touched this palette, barely used it. I don't reach for it. The only shade I was using the most was this one, but I just don't know what to do. Like when I look at this, like I could probably make a really pretty look with these shades, don't get me wrong, and these shimmers are pretty beautiful, but I just don't reach for it. So I'm gonna get rid of it. Same thing with the Thirsty palette. I really wanted this palette, and that's why I got it, but it has a really nice big mirror, but I just don't reach for it. I don't reach for it. These shimmers are kind of weirdly pressed in the pan. The only reason I would want to keep this is for these like more bright tones, but again, I just don't really reach for it, so why would I keep it? So I'm gonna get rid of this one. The next one is a brand that is no longer available, Bad Habit. You just can't get these anymore, so even if I would like to talk about them, it's like I don't reach for them. This is the Supernova one. It looks like similar to the Lila palette by Natasha Denona. Really pretty, don't get me wrong, but the shades just don't last on me as well as I would like them to. This is the Aphrodite, which is like a similar Huda Beauty dupe. But again, the shades just don't last very well on me, so why would I don't reach for them. I'm just getting rid of them. I'm just showing you everything. This is the Tarte Clay Play Volume 2. This I actually traveled with to Mexico last year. It was really handy for travel, but I just don't reach for it anymore. And it's just sitting there. It's not really used. The palette's really nice. It's really big. Has a bronzer, blush, and a highlight. But like I said, I just don't use it, so I am going to be getting rid of it. And then the next one I will be talking about is the Peanut Butter and Jelly Too Faced palette. This is my oldest palette. It's about 3 years old. I probably will just toss this in the garbage. I kept the insert that came with the palette. I'm not sure why. It comes with a nice mirror, but I don't know. I just don't reach for it. It wasn't nostalgic for me because, like I said, this was my very first palette besides the Candy Johnson 10 package palette from Too Faced, but I just don't reach for it. So why would I keep it, you know? The next palette I will be talking about is the Too Faced Razzle Dazzle Berry eyeshadow palette. This is a really nice palette. This pinky shade in here, or purpley shade, is so beautiful. Like, I don't know. This is the reason I've been hesitating. For, like I said, for one shade, I just don't think it's, you know, good enough for me to keep for one shade. So I will be getting rid of it. It's really cutesy packaging, but I feel like it doesn't really, like, I'm 27. This is not really my vibe anymore. This is more for like teens, I think. So I'm gonna get rid of it. What's next? My Revolution palettes. I have two Revolution. See, this is so hard to come off. I just wiped it and it won't come off. I have two Revolution palettes. This is the Soph X Extra Spice and the Soph X Ultra eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna go ahead and show you these. This still has the insert on it as well because these are where the shade names are. It's more of a neutral palette. Revolution, I just don't, I don't reach for them, like I said. So I don't know why I have them. This one is the one I would reach for the most. I've done some really beautiful green gold looks. This is like more fall-esque. I kind of want to keep this one actually. I really like this everyday shade and the Aurora shade. But it's like, do I really need these shades? No, I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna get rid of these. So yeah, they're gonna go. Just wanted to show you guys those. Next I have some drugstores. I have the Earth and Oceans palette by e.l.f. This is another palette that I purchased. I hauled the previous month, but as much as I've tried to make it work for me, it just doesn't. Blending wise, I thought this was going to be really cute because of the greens, but I just can't. I can't make it work. It was $14, so it didn't work for me. I was going to get rid of it. Another one I have is really old. It's the 12P Morphe palette. It's like a little mini palette. It has an array of colors. It has all these beautiful bright colors, but I don't reach for it. It's barely even touched. You can see there. It's barely even touched. I think I just swatched this green and the blue and that's it. I never went for it again, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. I also have two more minis. I have the Meet Matchmaker eyeshadow palette from the Balm. This is a older palette as well. It's like, it's actually pretty old. These are the shades inside the palette. They're very pretty, but like I said, I don't reach for it. I don't need it. I don't want to reach for it, so it's gonna go. Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions Mini. This is a 9 shadow palette. I kind of wanted to keep this. I was kind of going back and forth because at one point I did really like this and I dug into it a lot. These shimmers are really, really pretty. They're really like duochromy, especially this one's so pretty. But I have these shades in other palettes. I just recently hauled that cake palette from Glamlight, which I've been loving. So I want to go ahead and get rid of this one. And then I have the Pure Creator palette. This is a more chunky palette. I don't reach for it. It has like this mirror. Really pretty. It has like a stand and it has a mirror that you can use like with a stand. Here are the shades in it. I added, these 4 shades are ColourPop. The 4 ones on the bottom here are ColourPop, but I did have these shades basically. It was the shades up there and the bronzer and the highlight. That was the palette. I don't reach for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give it to somebody else that could probably give it a better home and have more use from it. So that's that. And last but not least are all my Juvia's Place palettes. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of these, and I'm gonna tell you why. One of the palettes that I have is the Masquerade by Juvia's. It's the biggest palette from the Juvia's Place palettes that I have. And one of the shades popped out when I got it. I received a refund for it. This one right here. And I just don't reach for it. I don't reach for the palette. I don't want to reach for the palette. I don't know. I just don't use a lot of these bright tones, I guess. And these neutrals I have in other palettes. So somebody else can get a good use of this. I'm going to get rid of it. Next is the Nubian 2 by Juvia's Place. This is the one I think I use the most, just for these 2 plummy shades. It's really pretty, but I don't reach for it. I don't reach for it. And why have it? I mean, Shiva and Ya are really pretty, but I have these in other tones, other palettes. Same thing with Egypt. I have it in another palette. So pretty, but I have it in other palettes. These are really great quality. I just don't use them. Next is the Festival by Juvia's palette. This is another palette, very pretty. This one I kind of draw a blank when I reach into it. Like, what do? I usually just grab this peach tone and a little bit of the red and just grab like a shimmer, which is this one or this one, all over my lid. And that's basically all of it. I don't really use this black. I don't use the blue. I don't use the pink. Barely ever use this orange, but it's really pretty. Like I said, I just don't reach for it. Next is the Nubian, or the Saharan 2. I know this is a really loved palette by a lot of people. This is actually probably the only palette I will keep along with the next one I'm going to show you. I just really like this blue tone. And this one, it's like, oh, it's so pretty. Nomad. Berber. I don't know. This is pretty. I don't know why I just don't reach for them. Taza, Sora, and Fez. These are the mattes. They're really pretty. They're really pigmented. I think I'm going to keep this one. This is the one I'm going to keep. And then as well as the Juice by Juvia's. This is a favorite palette of mine. I just like the tones in here. I find this color story to be really unique. Yoshi, no! So I'm going to keep these two. And I'm going to get rid of the rest of the Juvia's place. So these are going to go. So yeah, that is basically all of my palettes that I will be getting rid of. I kind of went through my collection, like I said, while I was on that break. And I kind of just decided I'm just gonna get rid of them. I don't use them. Why are they there? They're just taking up space in my drawers, and a lot of, you know, somebody else can use them, somebody else can have them. So yeah, that is all for me today. I will see you guys in my next video. I hope this was not really boring. I'm sorry. I just wanted to show you what I'm getting rid of. It's quite a bit of palettes. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.